Imagine it, folks. You're one of the world's biggest artists. You can sell out records everywhere and perform at all the biggest and most prestigious venues around the world. And because of that, you also might be a little bit of a diva. You are in a position where you can ask for pretty much anything you want, because if you don't get it, you don't play. Today, we're talking about some of the most ridiculous band rider requests there's ever been. And oh boy, there's some spicy ones in this list. Hello! Welcome to Brainspill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and for those of you that don't know, a band rider is basically whenever a band or artist is going to perform at a venue, they will ask the venue for certain things as, conditions to play. Basically, they have a list of things they need to be able to put on the best show, which could be anything from equipment to lighting to even things like food and what's available for them in the backstage area. That can, incorporate many, many things. As you can imagine, with people in such a very, very prestigious position, they can maybe ask in some cases some very outlandish things. But if we're going to talk about this topic, I think we need to start with the one that I think is most well known by people, mainly because it's the one that really pushed this off. This was the one that really raised people's eyebrows about how important these things actually are. This is probably the most well-known band rider story there is, and that is Van Halen's M&M rule. Why? Is someone allergic to M&Ms? No. Nothing to do with that. I mean, I don't think the band even cared about the M&Ms, but it played a very important role. Like I said, this is one of the most well-known band rider requests there is, as the band specifically put this in their terms and said that in order for them to play, they needed a bowl of M&Ms with all the brown ones removed. The reason for this was almost like a litmus test. If you walk into the dressing room and see a bowl of M&Ms with brown ones in there, you know for a fact that the promoter has not read the rider properly. You might think that this is ridiculous. I mean, why not just eat the brown M&Ms? But like I said, nothing to do with the M&Ms. It just proves a point. This shows that if they basically can't follow simple instructions, what if they mess up the more important things, such as the equipment for the actual show itself? If they haven't read the rider properly, things could go catastrophically wrong for the actual show itself. Van Halen was one of the first to take 850 par lamp lights, huge lights around the country. At the time, it was the biggest production ever. If I came backstage having been one of the architects of this lighting and staging design, and I saw brown M&Ms on the catering table, then I guarantee the promoter had not read the contract rider, and we would have to do a serious line check. This is a very specific rider. The supplies range from 48 large bathside cloth towels, 100 cold drinks, 2 large bars of ivory soap, 3 packs of Marlboro cigarettes, coffee which must be kept continuously hot with electric hot plates, Lipton tea bags, fresh mixed fruit platters, assorted potato chips, dips, nuts, pretzels, salt and pepper shakers, cheese trays, and that's just scratching the surface, folks. This is all on pretty much one page of the band rider. This thing goes on for pages upon pages. This isn't just Van Halen. I mean, they're just one very important example, but many other artists have followed in their footsteps as the years have gone on. One such example was Katy Perry in her 2011 tour, California Dreams. Brilliant album, by the way. But her rider had some very specific requests in regards to the flower design. She had a very specific arrangement of flowers she wanted, in which it specifically says white and purple hydrangeas, pink and white roses in her dressing room, but absolutely no carnations. Well, if that's what the lady wants, then that's what the lady gets. I mean, you can't really blame her at the end of the day. That tour in particular made $59.5 million, so if she don't want carnations, she doesn't get carnations. Speaking of strange requests, Kanye West in his 2016 St. Pablo tour sought after an alcoholic slushy machine frozen with Hennessy Coke and frozen Grey Goose and lemonade. This is, I think, one of the best all-time rider requests I've ever seen. Doesn't sound crazy at all. Damn. I should start a band. The Rolling Stones headlined Coachella Music Festival in 2016, and a New Yorker reporter found that Mick Jagger had an air-conditioned running track. This, I believe, was only a one-off, but the fact is that if you've got that much space backstage to do whatever you want, as a matter of fact they had a couple of acres I think, then you may as well put in a 36-metre running track because you can. I mean, you're Mick Jagger for crying out loud. For those of you that don't know, Coachella is basically just one massive desert, so when it comes to having backspace stage for your artists, the world's your oyster, just take as much as you need. The Foo Fighters, as innovative as they are, have managed to up the ante in their 2011 concert rider when they made their rider a colouring book. It's pretty brilliant. I mean, most of them are just basic lists of everything they need, but this is a little bit more fun. Instead of using boring words, they decided to have this colouring book to show all the wonderful things they wanted. Big hearty breakfasts cooked instead of croissants, a crossword to identify catering do's and don'ts, and basically not having cheap-ass soda, bones or band-aids in the catering. It also has a maze and an activity page, so the crew knew exactly what was going into the salad and what shouldn't do. Good idea, lads. Yes, there are many interesting band riders out there, but there's two in particular that I want to mention, mainly because it kind of puts everything we've already talked about down to like a tier B. These ones are the most crazy ones I could find, and I just need you to sit down and get ready here. The first was the infamous thrash metal band Slayer, who had a rider which was hard to top. Their rider has a few stark choices, such as a human skull full of Red Hot's candy, a sandwich platter in the shape of a pentagram, Totes brand blood-proof umbrellas, 100 snow white goats for slaughter, freezer bags and coolers to preserve the goat meat until they get home so they can have slow roasted goat tacos with cilantro and onion. Oh, and don't also forget the 10 cases of Go-Gurts they wanted. However, failing that, I'm pretty sure they were just happy with beer. So, joke or not, I thought that was a pretty funny one. But the one to top them all was, this. Yep, Iggy Pop, godfather of punk, vocalist for the Stooges, and basically well known for his incredibly outlandish band rider requests. Either that, or they were really pushing the envelope, seeing how far they could actually take this. Within the 26-page rider, he asks for the following very normal and totally possible band rider requests, such as packages of sliced cheese, roast beef, turkey and ham, sliced directly off a pig's bottom, mind you, in which promoters must outfit the band's dressing room with a bottle of extremely hot pepper sauce so that no one has to actually taste the sliced ham, turkey, beef and cheese that's coming off the packaged containers. It also states that they require, among many other odd requests, a monitor man that speaks good English who is not afraid of death, a Bob Hope impersonator, and for 7 dwarves to dress up as the 7 dwarves from the Disney classic Snow White. Just in case the dwarves weren't available, they asked for a belly dancer instead. I really implore you to read these. I'll leave some links down in the description for some of these funnier ones, but yeah, as you might imagine, the bands like to get creative with their band riders, and I do genuinely wonder how close some of these promoters have got to fulfill the more outlandish requests. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of these riders. If they don't fulfill them, they don't play. Or, you know, maybe they're just not very happy by the time they get on stage. So, if you've ever wondered how much of a diva your favourite bands and artists are, now's your chance to find out. Just look up their band riders if they're available and laugh to your heart's content. If you like the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas for what topics you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. I feel like that if I was ever in a band, even if it's just one time, I would love to absolutely take the piss with a band rider. I would have something so insane that the promoter would probably quit his job there and then. I mean, having dwarves dress up as the 7 dwarves from Snow White is a pretty good start, mind you. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.